Hey, what's up Musers? This is John at Muse for You, and I'm really excited to be doing today's video tutorial. I'll be showcasing a new widget I've created called the Gui Menu Widget, and yeah, I'm just really excited to demonstrate it and show you what it is. So if we go to museforYouShop.com, and I'll close this here, and then I go to shop now, and I have the Gui Menu Widget here in the shop, and if we click on preview, here we are. And I have a few examples. So this is the example here we have on the first page. So if you wanted to see it yourself, you could just go to the website and check it out. And if I click on it, we kind of have like this goo effect happening with this menu. We have these buttons appear, and it's like kind of like gooey, like it's kind of sticking together. And I'll demonstrate this more as the video goes along. But then we have menu 1 here where you can see this menu. And this menu kind of sticks together, like they're kind of gooey stuck together. And I have different color variations throughout, but you can have it a single color. All the colors are super customizable. You can pick any colors you'd like for this menu. So very nice, and it kind of has that effect when it comes out. We have menu 2. That was the one that was on the first example page, on the first page. We have menu 3. That goes out like that. Very nice. All right, let me do that one more time, and there we go. And then menu 4 kind of sticks together a little bit more there, excuse me. And then menu 5, oh, there we go. Menu 5 goes vertically. And probably the most exciting one, I would say, the one that kind of just is pretty wild, is the 6th one. You get all of these menus in the widget. So not only do you get menu, like just the first menu, you get all 6 menus, if I could put it that way. Menu 1 through 6 you get. And what's crazy about Gui Menu 6 is that it's completely customizable. You can have the menu buttons, like these, I call these, they're menu buttons here. You can have them anywhere. So you could have them like in different, like farther from each other, really close to each other. And you could have just completely customize the position and location of each of the buttons, which is pretty amazing. So in this one, I just created this example to show you just how customizable it is. And in this video tutorial, I'll be going over how to use this widget and how to customize it like this or any way you'd like. So menu 1 through 5 are pre-made, if I could say it that way, menus, and menu 6 is like you can just your imagination can just run wild. And what I'm really excited about menu 6 is that, like, if more people start using it, where we can just exchange maybe like the numbers that the people used in order to get that particular type of menu, because like you just input certain numbers and the location changes of the menu buttons. So I'm going to get more into detail on this and what it does, and how to use it in Adobe Muse. I'm not going to use maybe like an example site or like a styled site, because I really want to focus in on this widget and all the options it has and the functionality of it. So I'm going to go to my Adobe Muse website here, and I'm going to go to my library panel, and here I have it, the Muse for You Gui Menu Widget right there. Perfect. All right, so there it is. And to install it, like when you download it, you get the user guide, so you can go through the user guide and it explains everything, and you can install the mulib, the widget, the .mulib file here. So to install it, you simply double click and click OK. It says imported 6 library items. You can view them in design mode in the library panel. So I'll click OK. And here I have it. I just have a second instance of the Gui Menu Widget. So it's Gui Menu Widget 2 because I've already installed it. So we'll just use this instant here, the first one that I've installed. All right, so very good. That's how you install the widget. And then if you don't see your library panel here to the right, just go to Window in Muse, go to Window Library, and I'll go to Window Library again to bring that back up. And I have it here, my panels to the right here. All right, so here is the Muse for You Gui Menu Widget. We have Gui Menu 1 through 6. So I'm going to start with 1, and I'm just going to go through it in sequence, and then, and just show you the different options you can do with it. So I'm going to click, hold, and drag, and place it onto my Adobe Muse website. There it is. Now, the first thing I want to do is ungroup the widget, because right now it's grouped as the main menu trigger, which is this blue button here. And we have the 6 different menu buttons to the left. So I'm going to right click on the widget and click ungroup. All right, so now we just have the menu button here, the main one that triggers the other buttons to come out, and we have the menu buttons here to the left. So I'm going to click, hold, and drag these buttons out of the page so they don't interfere with my web design process. But basically each of these is a button in the menu. So we have 6 here, and then we have the main trigger button right here. So if I preview this in the browser, if I hit Command-Shift-E, excuse me. Okay, there we go. And I click on the button, there's my menu. We have the hover and we have the different buttons. So I'm gonna go to color.adobe.com just to get a different color palette. And while it's doing that, sorry, I'm just gonna go back to Adobe Muse here. And here's the widget. Now if we go to the widget options, this is the widget options. It covers a lot of the widget, but it focuses a lot on the main trigger there. So we can see the center button background color. I can change this, and yeah, that's why I went to color.adobe, because I just want a really nice color palette. Let's use this one here, color with subtlety. So, yep, and I'll just click here, edit copy, and now I have these colors to play with. So I'm gonna pick this red here, this hex code here for the red, and I'm gonna change the button to that red. So I'm gonna go over here and enter in the hex code, and now the button's that red. And for the center, I'm gonna use this kind of white color here for the 3 lines in the center. So center menu lines color, I just go here to this drop down, paste in that hex code, and for the button hover, I'm gonna use this green, and we go to the button hover color right over here, excuse me, right over here, and we enter in green. And there we go. And then the icon hover color, I'm going to say this orange right over here. All right, very good. So we'll go there and I'll just paste that in there. And basically we've changed the color of our menu. So if I hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, and I do that, now we have the hover is that orange color. Now, the buttons haven't changed because there's another another menu for the individual buttons that I wanted to implement so that you could really customize this widget. So let's say I wanted to customize this first button to those colors. And another thing you can do actually is just add these colors to the swatch by clicking this little paper icon over here. So I'm going to add that color. I'm going to add this color here, and oh, I didn't change the icon. Oh, the icon hover color, I want to change that as well. So I'm going to select this blue here, and let's change that. So let's paste that in there, and we're going to add that to the swatches panel, and I'm going to add this to the swatches panel. All right, so I have those 4 colors there. Now if I go back over here, we have the 6 different buttons. These are the options for the 6 different buttons. And I'm just gonna click on those, and on the background color I'm just gonna change it to, you know, this orange, and icon color to this blue. All right, now if I hit Command-Shift-E, we can see that color has changed. And because the hover color is orange as well, we might want to change the hover color to like red here for this button. There it is. So now when you hover over, initially it's red, you hover over it, it's orange there. All right, very nice and perfect. And icon color looks good. Let me see. Yeah, we want the icon color to change too, so I'm going to change the hover on the icon hover color to white over here, and that'll give us a hover. Yeah, there you go. So the icon and the button background changes. So you can see it's very customizable. Very nice. All right, so now it gets even a bit more fun. So we can change the gooiness of this menu. So you see how it pops up and the gooiness is there. We can change it so that it's even more gooey, so like it kind of pops out of the center button. And I don't know, I probably said this in the beginning, but this widget works really well in Google Chrome. And yeah, it's like, you know, it works best in Google Chrome. And I have seen disclaimers where it says, you know, site best viewed in a certain browser. And yeah, that's like, I think this is such a cool widget that I wanted to make it available. Even though, you know, it really works best on Google Chrome. It does work a little bit on the other browsers, but not as well. Safari, not really. But you know, if you really wanted to use this, I would just direct your users to use Google Chrome to get this really cool effect. So yeah, just a little disclaimer there, and I do have it on the website, and I think I might have just forgot to say it at the beginning, which I might add. All right, so very good. So there's the colors. We've changed the colors. Now we're going to change the gooiness of the menu. So I'm going to go back to my options, and right here where it says button open delay, I'm going to change this to like 1,000. And the button close delay, I'm going to change it to 1,000 as well. It's in milliseconds, so 1,000 equals 1 second. All right, so now I'm going to hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser. And if I click on the widget, you can see that, and it's amazing how it closes. It's like really gooey, and it's just really cool. And this is all with SVG technology. It's just really amazing. So we have that gooiness, and we can do that for all of the buttons. So like, you know, let's make the fourth button, you know, even more gooier. So you see that, or the fifth button right there is super gooey. All right, so you can see just how much fun you can have with this widget. It's a lot of fun. I mean, as I was making it, I was like geeking out because I was like, it's just so fun to play with this widget. And you're gonna have such a nice effect. You can even change those 3 lines in there. We can change the speed of them if we go to the GUI menu options here, and where it says center button timing, let's change that to 1,000, and let's change the menu lines here, the timing. Let's change that to 1,000 as well. So you'll see how it looks. You see that X, it turns into an X a little bit slower, and it comes back in a little bit slower. So you can make everything like super gooey, super interesting, and just like really awesome and exciting. So very cool. And I think there was one more. Oh yeah, and you can change the size of the icons. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't quite get into. You can pick over 500 different font awesome icons. Like for the different menu buttons, I can go in here and like just pick any different icons for my menu buttons, and I'll leave a link in the description area below where you can see all the different icons and actually pick them from this drop down here, and so you can have, like, you see we've changed all the icons in there, which is awesome. There's social media icons, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media. Like, I'll leave the link, and you'll be able to see from the icons. I might even go over it in this video tutorial, like go to that page so you can see it. So yeah, and we can change the size of the icon. So let's say I wanted it a little bit bigger. I just change it here by setting it to 40. I hit Command-Shift-E, and you can see the icons are a lot bigger. So, you know, I don't know if I'm going in the greatest sequence, but there's so many customizable options in this widget that you could just do anything with it. And there's a great user guide that I've created with this widget to help you start using it. And then here is where we put the URL, the button URL. So I could say http google.com, http museforyoushop.com. Be sure to add in the http, and you know, like facebook.com, or I'll use twitter.com. All right, I think I spelled that wrong. Yep, twitter.com. All right, so now if I hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, I go to that first button, takes me to Google. Second button takes me to Muse for Your Shop. Third button takes me to Twitter, and basically, and I can match the icons to the actual sites and everything like that. All right, so that's cool there. And I went over the size of the icon, the button URLs, the different icon sets. And just to show you how many icons there are, I'll just go to the Font Awesome page, and here are all the icons you can choose from. There are a lot of icons. All right, very good. So that's it. I pretty much covered all the options here. I've covered, so each of these pertain to one of the buttons on the GUI menu. So you can change the background color, the icon color. You can change the gooiness of it. Oh yeah, and the last thing I want to show is the ability to make certain buttons visible. You can just have one button appear and not the other ones, simply by where it says visible. Instead of yes, say no. So I'm going to make every other one not visible, and I'm just going to say no there, and I'm going to hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, and as you can see, we just have those visible. So it's like super customizable. You can do basically anything with, yeah, like anything with this widget is just amazing. So I think I've gone over the options pretty well there. So I'm going to just, and you've seen the other menus. So like you simply go to library, and let's say I wanted menu 2, I just place it in there. And again, I'm going to ungroup and just place the options, the button options over here to the left, and the main trigger button right here in the middle. I'll just center it. There, if I can find the center, there it is. And don't worry that the button's not perfectly centered. It's okay, it does center in the website. And there it is. Very good. And I can change the Gooeyness and all that good stuff. Awesome. And colors, you know, all the colors that I want to customize. And yeah. And oh, the center timing, button timing here, I didn't quite go over that too well. So if I make it 1,000, we just do this, and let me find the center again. There it is. I hit Command Shift E. It just, like, the button just shrinks down a little bit slower. It just shrinks down a little bit slower. That's all that does. So yeah, but it's cool to have that option in case you wanted to style it that way. All right, so that's yeah, let me preview that again. That's menu 2, and you've seen the other ones that I've put on the website, so I'll just let you go through those. And the last thing I'm going to show is the Gui Menu 6 and how awesome it is to customize. So I'm going to ungroup, and I'm going to again place these over here to the left. And if we preview it in the browser, hitting Command Shift D, we see we have these this menu here, and we have these buttons. And I made it so menu button 5 and menu button 6, and it even shows you here, like I've titled them Gui Menu 6, menu button 5, and if you go to, you know, Gui Menu 6, menu button 6 options. So it's all here, it's, you know, named well so you can keep track of the different buttons. So if you notice, like I said, no for 5 and 6 to not be visible, and but you can set them to be visible so you can work with 6 buttons. But the cool thing about menu button 6 is the customization. You can move the buttons on the X and the Y axis, and the Y axis is inverted, so negative values go up and positive values go down. But just as a quick example, so we saw how this menu, how this widget, how this menu looks in the browser. But let's say I want to place the buttons in different ways. So I'm gonna go to the fourth, fifth, and sixth buttons. And I'm going to say for 5th and 6th, I'm going to say yes, I do want them visible. So click yes there. And so what I'm going to do with these buttons is place them differently on the page. So I'm going to go to the 4th button options, and here where it says move button on X axis, I'm going to say -50 and -50 on the Y axis as well. So it's going to go this way. It might be different because I'm on the camera, but this way it's going to go to the left -50 pixels, and it's going to go up -50 pixels. All right, so we'll do that. And then for the 5th button, I'm going to say -100 and -100. And for the 6th button, I'm going to say -150 and -150. All right, so now if I preview this in the browser, if I hit Command Shift E, and we have that. So you can see those buttons have changed on the positioning on the page, which is awesome. Just to show you how unlimited this widget is, you can put buttons closer together and just create like really cool GUI menus. I'm really excited what you'll create with this, or what different users will create with it, because I think it could be like a cool community thing where we exchange different numbers and kind of number codes for different visual menus or GUI menus. So it could be a lot of fun, and I think it's just so customizable that, you know, we can just have a lot of fun with it, or, you know, anyone can have a lot of fun with it. So as you can see, it kind of goes off the page, and so I'm going to bring this menu widget down a little bit, like right there. I'll hit Command Shift E, and there it is. Now if you notice, there's a bit of clipping up at the top, and I did include this in the user guide as well. There's a bit of clipping up here. So to change that, one thing with menu 6 that I've allowed for is the clipping adjustment for customization, and this allows you to bring like the menu, the trigger down, and everything down. Because if I preview this, like if I inspect the element and I go to let me just look at it. yeah, let me inspect the actual menu here. If I inspect the menu, we can see that it kind of like the wrapper is not around the whole menu, and that's why we get that clipping. I'm not going to get too much into detail with that, but basically, because I've added this clipping adjustment options, you just simply, let's say we want to bring that button down a little bit so we have more space at the top for that button that's clipping. We're just going to bring the menu button down, let's say 100 pixels. Just type in 100, and we see the menu button kind of disappeared there, but that's okay, because it looks a certain way within, when you're designing it in Muse. But when you hit Command-Shift-E to preview in the browser, I preview it, and there's still a little bit of clipping up there, and we notice there's clipping down here as well. So what we want to do is give more height to this widget. So we go to height adjustment, and I'm going to say like 250 to give it more height, and now we can see the whole button, which is nice. Actually, yeah, when you see the whole button in its entirety, then you can feel pretty good that the clipping might not occur. So there we go, we've got rid of all the clipping, and the buttons are nice and round. It doesn't clip anywhere, and that's been done through the clipping adjustment. All right, looks good. All right, so that's pretty much it. You can change the width and the height. Let's say you have menu buttons going to the right or the left, and it clips on either side. Just give the widget or that center button more width in the clipping adjustment, and you can give it more height as well if you want buttons to go more vertically, or if you have this really big menu where the buttons just go kind of scattered, you can just have a really big one by adjusting the width and height of the trigger button there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've covered pretty much all the basics. Like with this widget, there is a user guide when you purchase it, and if you go to museforyoushop.com and shop now, you can get the widget for $7. You just click on buy now, and I'll click on buy now, and it'll just take you to PayPal. Very good. And when you purchase, you'll get a download to your email, and you'll download it, and you'll get the user guide and the widget. All right, very good. So that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, that's pretty much it. And check out the SVG draw widget as well in my shop. And just keep checking back for videos. I'm going to be making more video tutorials on web design in general and Adobe Muse, obviously using Adobe Muse and more web design ideas, and as well as widgets and things like that. I have been working a lot on widgets. They're a lot of fun, and I think they can add a lot to a website. Again, this widget works really well in Google Chrome. It does work in Firefox, but not as well, and it doesn't really work that good in Safari. But again, I have seen on websites where they say, website best viewed in Google Chrome. I really wanted to make this widget available because it's a lot of fun, and if you direct people to Google Chrome to view it in Google Chrome, you could really impress your viewers. So yeah, I just really had to get this widget out there. Definitely, yeah, best viewed in Google Chrome. It's all there. And yeah, just enjoy the widget. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I'd be happy to hear from you. I'd be happy to see if what menus you create with this widget. And yeah, just feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below. Become a patron on Patreon. Yeah, and you'll get access to new videos, the SVG icon set and things like that. So that's it for this video tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial.